All right, in the race today, from the inside out, wearing hip 1, 9th at the African Games this year, from Kenya, of course, Peter Mwaniki Ayla. Wearing hip 2, World Championship 1500-meter finalist back in 2019, Ronald Kemway. Wearing hip 3, 2019 NCAA cross-country champion, Iowa State, Edwin Kurgat. Wearing hip 4, 6th at the Kenyan World Championship Trials a year ago, Weldon Langat. Wearing hip 5, 8th at the World Championship 10,000 meters here in Eugene, Daniel Mateiko. Wearing hip 6, 8th at the World Cross Country Championships this year, Gideon Kipkirtich Rono. Wearing hip 7, Kenyan 5,000 meter champion back in 2018, Samuel Chimbele Masai. Wearing hip 8, 2021 World Junior Champion, World Cross Country bronze medalist this year, Benson Kiplingat. Wearing hip 9, World Championship finalist in Budapest, Bernard Kibet. Wearing hip 10, 2022 World Championship silver medalist here in Eugene, Stanley Maburu. Wearing hip 11, 2020 World Championship half marathon silver medalist, Kibiwat Kandi. Wearing hip 12 from Kenya, Francis Ebong. Wearing hip 13, 4th in the Olympic Games in Tokyo over 5,000 meters, Nicholas Kipcareer. Wearing hip 14, last year's silver medalist at 10,000 meters in Budapest, Daniel Ebenyo. We've got our 2 pacers out there wearing hip 15 and 16. It's Neville Bard and Ernst. That's your field in the Athletics Kenya men's 10,000 meters. Away we go, 25 laps of the track. You see the wave light out on the inside. The purple or blue indicators there in the front are the pace setters. Of course, Neville Bard and Ernst to the front as we speak. The green light indicator is a time target of 26:54. 27 flat is the Olympic standard. And we are naming the team here from the Olympic trials for the Kenyan team to Paris. Over 10,000 meters. What we know now is the top 2 finishers are automatically on the team to Paris with a pick by Kenyan Athletics for filling that 3rd spot. And here we come to the line here, 24 to go. Of course, on pace, as you would expect. First athlete behind the Pacers is Ebenyo. 64-1 through 400 meters.
So, and also, folks, paying close attention, if you cast your eyes just under the southboard is the new world record holder in the women's 10,000 meters, Beatrice Chebet, doing a lap of honor, thanking you guys for your support, enabling her to smash the 29-minute barrier. A super piece of running. And as Rob mentioned, Kenyan men in this 10,000 meters now trying to potentially join Chebet, Rengaruk and Kip Kemboy, who are the top 3 Kenyans in that women's 10,000 meters. Oh, she's got a Kenyan flag. You can't miss her. Big white t-shirt, a Kenyan flag. And there's a world record holder holding it on the first bend as she makes her way around Hayward Field.
And inspiration enough here. This men's 10,000 meters, of course, past the finish line here with 23 laps remaining. Ebenyo, Masai. Those are your first 2 followers of the Rabbits. Maburu in there as well. He's sitting in that 4th position. 3rd position past the Rabbits, excuse me. And through our first kilometer, 2:41.41, 1K down. So we're in the home stretch, of course. We've got our rabbits at Benyo, Masai, Maburu, Kurgat, Kipkorir in that pace line. Very familiar as we saw that transpiring in the women's race earlier today with Beatrice Chibet, who's on her victory lap and lap of honor, just coming off the first bend, signing lots of autographs back there, Kath.
I think it's going to take Beatrice a lot longer to get round a lap of Hayward Field than it did a few moments ago, stopping and signing all the autographs from those that enjoyed and would have been inspired by the latest world record here at Hayward Field.
And speaking of world records, if you are just joining us, that makes 7 world records have been set at the Prefontaine Classic in its 49-year history.
On the southboard, the standings in the women's hammer throw competition, an improvement by Cameron Rogers, the Canadian, out to 2:51.7, a better season's best for her, 76 meters and 69. But everybody chasing the American with that pre-classic record of 76.74, 2:51.9 leading the way in the women's hammer. And we're just about to start round number 5.
And down the backstretch, still the pace train, everybody in their spaces. No real shifting of orders here. Of course, Ernst and Neville Bard, your rabbits. Back to Benyo, Maburu, Quebec, Kipkorir, Kurgat, Masai.
It's a completely different mindset, isn't it, Rob, for the male 10,000 meter runners looking for those Olympic places in Paris, not concentrating on breaking any records here, different from the women's event that was chasing, as we heard from Beatrice Chibet when she spoke to Sasha about, look, we wanted a world record, no focus on that here today, just team places, precious Olympic team places up for grabs. And look at the bunch of the athletes still in the mix here in this men's 10,000.
It's championship racing out there. We've got the rabbits just to set an honest pace, but ultimately here, Kath, we are going to see some head-to-head competition. No records at play here, at least not intentionally, but what we are looking for is we do need to get under that 27-minute mark, or at least have that mark in this championship season to qualify on to Paris. Ernst and Neville Bard, your pace setters, dead on there as the requested pace, which is set at a time target of 26:54. Our first 2 kilometers at 2:41.4, 2:41.6. So pacing, as you can see, the wave light makes it fairly obvious for you fans. We're starting to get a little bit of action here back in the middle of the pack with some more bunching up as we approach 19 laps remaining. Maburu and Quebec, the first 3 athletes behind the 2 rabbits. So just to reiterate here, the top 2, assuming they do have the Paris qualifying standard, will automatically make Kenya's team to Paris, with the 3rd being a discretionary spot held by Athletics Kenya.
Still, our track and field fans flock in to Hayward Field by the tower, joining us in the first part of our pre-classic for 2024. And as you say, Rob, starting to string out a little bit now in this men's 10,000 meters.
63.9 on that last 400 meters, the fastest lap of the race so far. As you can see, even the pace setter is starting to inch up into that purple or blue light. However you see it, we got a little bit of movement in the middle of the track in the all-white top. That was Candy moving up into 5th position. As they pass in front of the tower, this will be 3 kilometers done. 8:04 through 3K. Obviously the Pacers doing their job as they're still sitting nicely right in there with the blue lights. A 2:41.1. So again, our first 3Ks, 2:41.4, 2:41.6, 2:41.1. So Pacers doing their job. And our first Pacer starting to move off. So we'll have a little bit of help for the athletes for just a while longer here in this men's 10,000 meter race. Now less than 17 laps remaining. So Nicholas Kipkorir having moved up now into the mix in that top 4 behind the Pacer. But Abenyo has yet to relinquish that first follower position here. Of course, with Kipkorir, Mateiko moving up in there, Candy moving up, Kiplingat. So needless to say, nothing's for certain now in this men's 10,000 meter Olympic trials for Team Kenya. Kipkorir moving up on the outside. He's in the dark kit with the neon stripes down the side. Up into 2nd. Having a little chat with Abenyo, perhaps talking about leading duties once the Pacer does indeed drop off. That's Nicholas Kipkorir. Now alone in that 2nd position, followed closely by Abenyo, then back to Kiplingat and Mateiko. And the athletes having now moved a little bit past the pace setter, so perhaps championship racing is about to take hold here as the Pacer no longer has a duty. Less than 15 laps to go, and no longer do we have a Pacer. So the green lights are the indicator for 26:54, which was the time target pace these athletes are looking for, of course. They are trying to beat under that Olympic qualifying standard of 27 flat.
Updating the women's hammer. Look at the southboard screen, folks. A pre-classic record, that's what it is. 77.23. 2:53.4 for Cameron Rogers of Canada. Going into the lead in the women's hammer throw at the end of round number 5. The 24-year-old Canadian, the world champion, with a huge season's best into the lead. So, a big field, look at our big screen here, the experience board, giving up Valerie Allman giving us away. The women's discus field, just like all the events here at Priya, absolutely huge. We've got an Olympic champion, we've got a world champion, both from the USA, by the way. Coming in to Hayward Field for that women's discus throw competition which is due to start off, folks, at 12:50.
And back here at the track, we're going to have 13 laps remaining. Once they cross that finish line, still Kip Career at Benyo, Kipling got Kimbet. And back to Candy, who's in the white top. Plenty of athletes still in the mix here, dead on with the wave lights. As they hit the tower now, this will be 5K completed, so halfway done. 5K at 13:28:14. I'd say that's pretty darn close to exactly halfway of where they want to be at 26:54. So 13:28 through halfway.
See the standings of that women's hammer throw. You see the DLR there next to Cameron Rogers. It would have been a Diamond League record if it was a Diamond League event here at Pre-Classic this year. But it is a Pre-Classic record and the lead still in the Canadians' hand. Rogers, Price and Anderson. Canada, USA, USA as we're halfway through the final round of the women's hammer.
On the backstretch, continued shaking up of things. Kipling got, he's in the pink kit, out in the lead. Kip Career to his outside shoulder. So moving up on the outside again, Benyo, the taller figure in the bunch. He had been sitting right behind the Rabbits in the early going of this race. We're going to have 11 laps remaining. That's now with Benyo to the lead. Kip Career on the outside. Kipling got down on the inside.
So the final few throws in the women's hammer being shown on the south board. Casanavoid, who's in fourth, the American, and that was her best throw of the competition, 74.65. So her sixth and final throw. The American finishing in fourth position. 2:44.11. So 3 more throws to go in the women's hammer. Brooke Anderson, Deanna Price, and Cameron Rogers.
And hitting the finish line here at 6K. 16:10 through 6K. That means we've got 10 laps remaining. Kip Career still out in the lead. He's in the gray kit. Benyo sitting there in second. Mateiko now moving up on the outside. He's sitting in third.
So final throw for Brooke Anderson. She's going to finish in third in this women's hammer throw, 74.89 in round number 6. 2:45.8, but her best throw of the competition, Brooke Anderson, the American, in round number 2 is 76.34. $2:15.05 is the best throw for Brooke Anderson in that round number 2, finishing in third position. Let's await the distance then. Cameron Rogers will be entering the circle before Deanna Price, the American. The final 2 throws of the women's hammer competition. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard as our men's 10,000 runners go through the finish line.
And now less than 9 laps to go, we have a new leader of the competition. Kibawan Candy having taken the lead as not wanting to fall too far off those wave lights. Again, those wave lights are sort of the guarantee of making that trip to Paris, as that is the time that you would have to be under if you're going to have a qualifier. Candy out in the lead. Quebec in the bright orange now taking the lead. So things are shaking up just a little bit.
2:55.1 for Cameron Rogers, the Canadian, goes back into the lead with a 77.76 throw, another pre-classic record, extending from that 77.23 throw in round number 5, which means Deanna Price of the USA, the world champion in Doha, 2 times the Olympic Games finalist, has one final throw to upgrade from 2nd position in the women's hammer.
Less than 2 miles remaining now. Quebec in the lead. He was a world championship finalist a year ago in Budapest. Ebenio sitting in that 2nd position. A silver medalist a year ago in Budapest.
Deanna Price finishes with 73.59. She'll finish in 2nd position. And on the home stretch, just going through the finish line, signing autographs, she has made her final lap of Hayward Field. Beatrice Chebet, the new world record holder in the women's 10,000 meters, just coming through the finish line very slowly in a Stop Pre t-shirt. Her first set of autographs as the women's new 10,000 meter world record holder. Give you confirmation of that women's hammer throw. The result finished as Cameron Rogers of Canada winning with a pre-classic record of 77.76. Deanna Price of the USA was 2nd. Brooke Anderson, also from the USA, was 3rd.
So less than 7 laps remaining now. This men's 10,000 meters. Still Quebec out in the lead. He's in the bright orange top, and the taller figure of Ebenio sitting in 2nd. Benson Kiplangat and Kipwa Candy. And Kip Courier now moving up. Remember, he's in the gray. We've got a bunch of 8. A group of 8 here, all with the potential to make the team to Paris.
So a total of 4 meet records in that women's hammer throw. The winning throw is 77.76 or 2:55.1 was what got the victory here today in Eugene for Cameron Rogers. But 4 pre-classic records through the competition between Rogers and Price. Quality, of course, at the 2024 Nike Pre-Classic.
Mateiko has now taken over leading duties and trading off with Kip Courier. Kind of back and forth, we've got some movement as they continue to chase the wave light. And the wave light set about 6 seconds under the Paris qualifying standard now. Many of these athletes already have that standard, but many do not. They do have to be under 27 minutes to hit that standard to make the team to Paris. There's Kip Courier now. Ebenio moving up on the outside. Mateiko down on the inside. 8K completed. 21:34. Less than 5 laps to go. We had a little bit of carnage. Ebenio hitting the deck. And he's up and running. Candy now moving up on the outside. He's moving into the lead. Kipwa Candy is a personal best of 27:20, so he really needs to get this standard. Moving towards those wave lights. Kip Courier still moving up, just continuing to trade places at the lead. Ebenio doing everything he can now to track down that lead group after a little bit of a tumble. This is going to be 4 laps remaining for Candy. Kip Courier, Mateiko, Quebec is in there, and here's Abenyo. So Kip Courier still in the lead here. He's in the Adidas kit, the darker kit of all of them in that lead pack. As the lap counter should say 3 to go now. You see the wave lights. They're still in touch. Kip Courier. Quebec now moving up on the outside. He's in the orange. That first orange athlete is actually being lapped at the moment. Here's Abenyo, 3 to go. Kip Courier, Mateiko, Quebec. Kipling sitting in that 4th position. Candy in the white over black. We're seeing a lot of movement up and back and up and back. We'll see what the last couple laps have in store. As the athletes now come onto the home stretch, they are going to have 2 laps remaining when they hit the start-finish line. This is 800 meters remaining. A trip to Paris and the Olympic Games are on the table. High stakes action here for these 6 athletes up front. Kip Courier, Quebec, Mateiko, Kurgat. And then it's back to Candy in the white. See Kurgat in all blue on the inside. Kip Courier in the lead, Quebec on the outside. Kurgat in blue on the inside in 3rd position. Back to Mateiko. And Kipling got the other athlete in the pink Nike kit. Then back to Candy in white. And ladies and gentlemen, the home stretch for the penultimate time, because here's the bell. 1 to go. That is Edwin Kurgat to the lead now. He is trying to make his statement as they are going to chase those wave lights all around the backstretch. That's Kurgat in the lead. Mateiko sitting in 2nd. Kip Courier, and then back to Quebec. Kurgat in all blue. He's got a half a lap to go. Mateiko now moving up on the outside. Into the home stretch we come. This is for all the marbles and a trip to Paris. And we've got ourselves a foot race on the outside. Kip Courier moving up on the inside. Here is Mateiko. Quebec now moving out to the top 3 across the line. Mateiko, your Canadian Olympic Trials champion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, on the clock at 26:50.8, the fastest time in the world this year. And so here's what we know right now. That 26:50.81, the fastest time in the world this year, puts Daniel Mateiko very likely on the team to Paris, as does Nicolas Kip Courier, finishing in 2nd. He gets under that 27-minute mark in that 3rd position. will be determined by Athletics Kenya. But ladies and gentlemen, what a phenomenal race here in the men's 10,000 meters. The Kenyan Olympic trials, and then we get our first glimpse at what that team will look like in Paris.
And the Kenyan Olympic trials producing a world record and a world lead.
Nothing but magic here at Hayward Field.
Pick up there is what's to come. We see our women in pole vaulters moving up on the back straight. Our female discus throwers as well. The due to start in the field shortly. Thick and fast action. Some power races to come as well. The men's 4 hurdles for you. Women's triple jump, the men's 100. Some high hurdles for the men and the women. The women's 1500, a steeple, men's shot put, Joe Kovacs. Remember, he doesn't like fruit in his dessert. He's coming up at just after 10 past 2, a 200 meters, an 800 meters, women's 100 final, Olympic champion against world champion. And then, Rob, you'll bring them home in the Bowerman Mile. Now, that's a tasty way to end our pre-classic.
That's the only way to end the Prefontaine Classic. In my entire life coming to this event, it's a treasure and a treat to be there, to be part of this thing, to culminate today's action in the men's Bowerman Mile. We have so much at stake here and in store for all of you here at Hayward Field.
The last 2 world champions from Great Britain, Josh Kerr and Jake Whiteman. And also, Jakob Ingebrigtsen is here as well. It's time for you to be the star of the show, folks. Scan the QR code on the experience board now and use your phone as a camera. If you don't know how to do it, ask somebody sitting next to you. Put it into camera mode and you may be one of the lucky ones chosen to appear on the beautiful experience board here at Hayward Field. That's it, keep waving folks, but also get your cameras out and scan that QR code as well. Let's try and put you on the big board here at Hayward Field.